Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the November, can you believe that, episode of Show That's Late at Night, Artist Edition, Creative Edition, Art News for you. Now, I know everybody is so sick of hearing about the elections at this point. Oh, politics, when will it end? But I do want to talk to you about how the 2020 election will affect the arts. America, I need your vote. Together, we are going to make America colorful again. Art everywhere, on every street corner. Who needs roads? We're gonna put down pink asphalt and green and blue, and it's gonna be amazing from space. Don't worry about healthcare. I'm gonna send y'all a box of crayons, and your stress is gonna vanish, and y'all gonna be so healthy. A vote for me is a vote for a better world, and you can't afford not to do it. Everybody else is lying to you. Everybody else is faking their votes. A vote for me is a vote for America. We're gonna put art education programs in all the schools. Starting in kindergarten, starting at pre-K, starting in the diaper. Free sketch pads for everyone. So the best thing that came out of the Trump administration for arts is probably the fact that we all got a lot of fodder to use as inspiration, let's say, in our work. So as art activists or just people who care about what's happening in the world from either side of the coin, you had something on your mind this year probably. And great way to put your efforts and your passions and your thoughts onto canvas to share with the world. It's a really good outlet for the creative mind. Other than that, Trump has not exactly been a friend to the arts. Each of every 4 years he's been in office, coming to budget time, he has looked to completely cut out the National Endowment for the Arts, along with the National Endowments for Humanities, as well as the Institute for Museum and Library Services, as well as the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, every single year. So those things haven't passed, but that has been, by and large, his intention. Luckily, Congress has been unilaterally on board with holding on to those things as important for our culture and society. Also, under Trump, we saw the disbandment of the President's Committee for the Arts and Humanities. Even Trump's tax policies affected the arts. In the past, wealthy art collectors were able to use purchases and sales of high-end art towards their efforts of tax minimization or tax avoidance, if you will. That loophole was removed, and I'm absolutely not somebody who has a problem with people paying their fair share of taxes. However, that does affect how much people are going to be willing to use that as an additional reason to indulge in those purchases. Not that I'm going to be selling anything for millions of dollars anytime soon, so it wouldn't probably affect me, but any movement in the art industry creates upward momentum, and it is ultimately good for everybody. Even though they won't be getting a tax break to do so, most people, once they get to be billionaires, apparently, tend to become art lovers. So maybe all of these super rich billionaires that quadrupled their money during the pandemic will start buying art and we'll have some movement in the art industries again. Now, for a Biden presidency, what does that mean? In the past, he has generally supported all of these programs that Trump has tried over and again to cut, and the National Endowment for the Arts is incredibly important because they give millions of dollars to each and every state every year to use towards grants and awards for artists and creators, and that's amazing. Also, if you can do a better job of handling the pandemic and getting that under control, that's going to be really important because so many artists make their money through markets and fairs and galleries, and with those things being shut down, a lot of people are not able to make ends meet. So let's hope that we have a bright outlook there. Fingers crossed, of course, who knows. And also Biden has a part of his election committee was the Biden Arts Policy Committee. So we can hope that that will mean that he's going to take that into the White House. We don't know for sure yet. Of course, nothing is written in stone at all right now. but he has a history of supporting the arts. Under the Obama administration, the government contributions to these programs increased by quite a bit, and they started different programs that he co-sponsored legislation for that supported arts for different minority groups. And this is very hopeful, I think, for people, and it's a step in a positive direction. And just for beautifying of our country, because we need to patch up some of that ugly going on these days. And okay, so let's move on from the unhappy world of politics. I promise it's over. Not another word. And this month's installation of botched restorations gone wrong. Amateurs thinking that they're gonna do it because all the greatest ever did it, and why can't they do it? Looks easy. It looks easy. A historic building in Palencia's historic Hayat. Apologies. Some of the exterior relief sculptures had some damage over the years, and somebody thought that they could add a face on there, and it's amazing. I bid you enjoy. How does this always happen? How does this always happen? Nobody learns. In a new segment, we're going to call Lost and Found. So the Museum of Modern Art has been working to put together the complete series of Jacob Lawrence struggle series. Jacob Lawrence is a renowned Black American artist, and the series that they are trying to put together from the mid-50s is a set of 30 paintings that re-examine our nation's early history. There was a whole series of events back in the 50s. After this series was done, it was eventually sold to a private collector who spun off some pieces for different reasons or unknown places that some have ended up. They've got 25 of the 30 pieces and don't know where the others are. One woman going through the exhibit thought, this seems familiar. I think I might have seen one of these somewhere before. Turns out her neighbors have had one of those paintings hanging in their living room for some 60-odd years. They bought it in 1960 at an art auction at Christmas time to benefit a local music school, and they've just had it there ever since and had no idea that this was a part of this massive collection that they were trying to bring back together. So one piece found, 4 more still on the loose. Maybe they will find them, who knows. Okay, and a little bit of a hopeful note to again offset all of the ugly in our world these days. After the horrible blast this summer in Beirut, Lebanon, at the port that destroyed such a big swath of land and so many homes in that horrific explosion, local artist Hayat Nazer, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right and I apologize if I'm not, she created a beautiful sculpture using rubble and debris from the explosion, and as well as donations from people who lost so much of their homes and belongings in the explosion of things that were broken and no longer could be taken with them. She created this gorgeous sculpture. It is no name currently. It is created with the intention to inspire hope and change after such a catastrophic event that hurt so many people. So many interesting things happening in the arts right now, and I want to ask you if you have anything that you'd like to see me discuss here or bring to everybody's attention that you know of that's happening in the world, send it my way. I'd love to have your submissions, just DM me, whatever. And I would like to remind you, especially going into the holiday season, support the artists that you love, support arts, great gifts from the artists that you love or you know that your friends and family love. And even just giving a few bucks through a Ko-fi account or a Patreon account adds up to really helping people maintain their livelihoods and keep creating. If you don't have them funds, no problem. Shares, subscribes, likes, these things legitimately do help also. And of course, if you enjoyed this content, share it, like and comment, subscribe if you would want to see the rest of the videos I come up with about once a month of interesting, relevant, maybe not so relevant art news, just what strikes my fancy. I really appreciate you guys watching. I love you all. I hope you are out there making things and keeping yourselves sane and just focus on the creative beauty of our world every now and again, rather than the doom and gloom that we're always worried about. So I love you guys. I'll see you in December. All right, good night. Make America, art again.